I see it too many times. These empty promises don't lead to anything. Because what empty promises lead to is empty roads, but fulfilled promises lead to fulfilled roads. Or stream. What's going on, like Pratt TV listeners and viewers around the world? What's going on?
Hey. All right, so I'm a little more comfortable with this one because you and me talk like 10 times a day.
Yeah,
or more. So sorry, I was just closing out some things on my phone. Hopefully it's a little bit faster.
Yeah, no worries.
So, oh, you know what? So yeah, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Yeah, go.
How we know each other, and I will try to figure out what else I'm doing.
Yeah, no, go for it. So we'll start off with me and how Beast met. So Beast and I met back in Anchor 2017. For those of you who don't know what Anchor is or what it's about, it's a podcasting app now. Strictly, you can make a podcast, record, distribute it. We just basically said, hey, what's going on? Introduced ourselves to the community. Then we had some other events go on until December. And then this year came around, and I still have my podcast doing all that. We did like a couple podcast calls once in a while, like Q12 of 2018. And then I pitched the idea, hey, Beast, we should start the United Promotion. I had a couple team members, which that would be the main bulk of the combo. And then I said, hey, Mike, I think you'd be a perfect fit for us, and you'd be a perfect fit going forward. So I'm like, okay. And he came on, always willing and accepting. And boom, here we are today. I'm only 20. I'm very young. And like one of those baby faces. But I'm 20, in school right now. Looking to study communications next year. And I have the Anchor Nation, which is my old podcast. I have KTTV, which is a fun, exciting project. Instagram, every single year that will evolve too. That's a fun project I'm always doing with my personal brand, putting the social in social media. I think that's important these days that we don't isolate each other. And I'm out here in the Jersey Shore, so rock and roll in that area. No, there's a lot of crazy stereotypes that come around here, but it's a fun town this summer.
So real quick, too, if anybody's watching live, if you can send me a text or a DM, is there echo? Because I think I fixed the echo problem. I'm not 100% sure, and I want to make sure that we try to fix and get better as we go on through the day. That being said, what is the United Promotion? All right,
so the United Promotion is a project I started technically back in July. I had the idea. Basically, it was July 3rd. I went in my room and said, hey, people are doing some great things out here. So I figured there's no real one place or second place to really collab everything together. So I said, okay, let's do the United Promotion. And then the first 2 months, it was just figure it out. Let's see what's going on. And then really September, when you started to give us some structure, we had a real structure. But the main basis of it is it's a page where we feature people, we shout out people, whoever you like to use this terminology. And we really just feature people who are doing unique, positive, and uplifting things in the community. And it explains the up process of everyone's moving up together. And we do a unique system of, hey, we give you a bio and a quote. So you get a quote post, which is the first day. And then after the quote post, wait 4 days after, bio post, usually nothing goes wrong. And then 10 days after, there's a story feature. And that's the whole United Promotion process. We're just a small team. Stay tuned. As I like to say, there's some more people hopefully coming on the team today. I'll watch those videos. And everyone's just really good this year. It's only a 10-week process. We just started. We're almost at 400 posts. Things are starting to flow. And it's all about community. And I think, Mike, you explained it best. Community always wins. So I think that's what we're really aiming for. And we got some fun under-the-cover things in 2019. We won't reveal this yet. And we're really excited for just the community growing and everyone seeing their positive and unique things. We've got to remember it's a team effort, and everyone's doing such unique things. That's crazy to think that we're starting to scale global too.
So you're wrapping up almost your second year of podcasting.
Yes.
What have you learned about digital communication, especially since your degree is going to be focused on communication, over this 2-year journey of meeting people online and having these online relationships?
Tale two has, I think. The first half, the 2017 half, was more get your feet wet, and then I saw a lot of interesting things. It was more community-based on Anchor, so I kind of focused on that, honed into that. This year's a little bit different. I use the podcast as a little bit more of I have Touch Talks. I have like 3. But Touch Talks I usually made as a documentary process. So I said, okay, can document stuff. I can make things happen. And I use Instagram as a promotion platform. And the one thing I've learned this year more than last year is when there's things changes and adaptations happen, you got to learn to adapt. And I think adaptation has been big, especially this year because of the community kind of fading on Anchor as far as the actual in-app community. And stories are still ever evolving. Like what you're doing right now, checking in with people a year for Anchorthon, the story will evolve. There's no 2 days are the same. So I kept saying to myself, because no 2 days are the same, I like to make unique challenges. And I think with the podcasting, I can still document, I can still do my daily grind, show the process, and figure out, okay, well, if this works, what can work tomorrow? And I just keep spinning my thoughts, and people have really perceived it well. I think I've learned more about the promotion process of podcasting and getting downloads, and just really saying, hey, these downloads are really people invested in your time and respect that, and also know that whatever they're investing time in, that you invest some time back in. So it's always works a trade-off. I try to listen to as many as I can just because the support's been so unbelievable and grateful for me.
So you said you learned some things about being able to get attention and downloads, and what would be the easiest low-hanging fruit? And I have a feeling I know the answer because we talk about this whole time. Mm-hmm. But from your perspective, what's the easiest way to get people to give you time and consume your content?
Engagement.
That you found.
Engagement. I think this is the number one thing, man. And we talk about this verbatim, but engagement is such a powerful tool. It doesn't matter if I know you can't listen, like you can't see the listeners anymore on Anchor, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Anchor. Comments, likes, direct message. I know I'm going to talk a little bit about the direct message challenge I did. Those things matter because it takes only 2 seconds really to listen, just for 2 seconds, and just really get into the groove. It takes literally 2 seconds just to hit like, and it takes maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds for a meaningful, maybe 30 seconds at most for a meaningful comment, and then a nice little mid DM. Or now you can do 1,000 DMs, and or whatever. They got video DMs, voice DMs. You can do as many as you want. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is those things matter because the more you build up with that repetition, that resume of, hey, this is somebody who supports and engages a lot, you'll get that back. And that's the great thing is you don't expect to get that back, but naturally when you give out so much value and giving, it just happens naturally. The universe is like, man, this guy or this woman is doing some great things here. I see the engagement levels, not expecting anything in return. It just happens, and that's the beauty of life is when it happens like that, you just embrace it. You be grateful, you be humble, and humility takes over. And then when it's the shoe on the other foot, as they say, when you need something, it usually comes back in your favor because of all the things you did. So that's the beauty, I think, is engagement is number one. For podcasts, another thing I think is important is the use of offline communication, believe it or not. I think sharing links is important too, and always letting your fans know when you do something or when you're on some type of hiatus or you're doing some planning behind the scenes. Sharing that is okay, in my opinion, because it gives the audience insight. It gives valuable knowledge to say, okay, this person's taking a 3-week break. Let's see what they got planned. Oh, they're in the planning stage. Or, oh, you know what, they're in the execution stage, straight hustle, and then they'll come back a little bit later. So I think it's important that sharing your links and engagement and just really letting your audience know where you stand at, not all the times, but at least a good, decent size of the week, it gives a good insight to what's going on for sure.
No, I definitely agree. So DM challenge. Mm-hmm. What was it? What happened?
Okay, so that was a 400 people, or roughly 400 people DM challenge. I said I had the idea where I found it's like, I did this last year in my personal contacts on my phone. Barely used my phone this year to text. I'm not a big texter as is. But, let me get outside my comfort zone. Let me DM every follower.
My call history proves this.
Yes. I don't want to bust out that vivid memories. I do have some weird memories, and I know dates. It's very weird. But, yes, I said, okay, let me DM every follower. I'll start from the top. I'll go to the bottom. But I said, you know what? Let me take 15 people's names out of a hat, basically, or people I said, I really did a good thing. I'll leave them to the side to the end of the year, which you got one. And I said, okay, let me DM. But instead of this kind of these wacky DMs you get, thanks for a great 2018, shake your hand, none of that stuff. I said, let me do a real type of message. Let me say, dear so-and-so, thanks. This is your 2018 end of the year message. I appreciate I just talked about some of the memories, some of the things we did this year. is I want people to know that, hey, this isn't some type of robotic message. You know, in this world of social, where robotic messages probably take up a third of the growth in some people's opinions, it's like, you know, let me do something real for my followers who can say, this guy really shows he cares. And that's what really was all about, just showing I care. And I remember some people, I hadn't messaged all year because they just followed me and the account started in June on my personal page. So I said, this is your first message since June. Now that we're on equal footing, what can I do for you next year? And that's what it's all about, is it's basically like this: reset the goals, reset everything. And so reset, drop the buff, as I like to say, and 2019, the new start. And then for the 15 people like yourself and 14 others, I gave more of a video tribute, gave more of those personal, deep messages. I want to say how thankful I am, because without 15 people really moving the meter for me, I can't move the meter for them. So I needed to move the meter. I gave them their messages, and that's a wrap on the year. We got some fun things planned with the DM challenge. No matter where I grow next year, it's going to happen again for sure.
No, absolutely. I'm super excited for it. I'm just checking some settings real quick, trying to figure out how to make sure we're not echoing again. Hopefully somebody can get on here and let me know if it's happening again. But so yeah, what are you excited for next year that you can talk about? Because I know we got a couple projects that we're not sharing until it's time to share.
Nope, no share zone here unless KTTV is a share zone, so I'll be talking about that. So the KTTV is a share zone because I feel it's open and it's very honest. The 5 new things I just had released on the KTTV, I'll talk about a couple. Some are going to be me. The first thing actually is a new documentary coming out about me. That is interesting because it's a separate project where KT's got nothing. I have no involvement other than just promote the thing and then handle post-production probably in February, in a sense that I get the video and I promote that. So I'm excited for that. That's something I've only been in one really short film. This is more of a longer type piece of content. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm doing a couple things with locals. I'm going to do what's called kind of like the faces of KTTV. So if I see someone who's local or see somebody who follows me, I'm going to snap a picture, put it up in my stories, make a highlight reel at the end of the year. And maybe I'll do collage. Maybe I'll do some type of feature at the end of the year for those people who I see in real life. I'll still figure. We got plenty of time. I got 365 days to figure that out. And I'll do something nice for those people. We got some cool challenges where I'm going to try to include every audience member. I think the best thing to do is tag people in the post. I'm going to try to tag everybody next year on KTTV and try to do something with words. So I guess an example would be vision, I tag 20 people. Power, I tag 20 people. Responsibility, you get the picture. And at the end of the cycle, I'll document that and say, this is how many people I did, and really put the social in social. And I think we'll stop there. I have some cool things planned for the summer as far as KTTV. The podcast side, I do have something new hopefully coming out in April. We're going to see if something does work with the up. We won't reveal anything about that. But there's some cool things planned for that with the podcast side. Obviously, the up, the only thing I'll say on that is, because I don't want to reveal everything, is just stay tuned. We got some exciting things coming. I'll say this is the one thing I'll say about the up. Where we are today is not where we will be next year at the end of the year. That's for sure.
Not even close.
Not even close. Like we are going to be. So if we have what we have right now, you think that's impressive? Just give us a year, and look where we'll go. I'll just say that. That's all I'll say, because the things that we're doing right now, I can see it every day. Mike can see it. The team can see it. It's moving up. It's really positive. It's really going to be something special if you give it some time, for sure. So it's just like a plant, right? And I know you love plants. Just give it some seeds. We started with the seeds, a little more water, miracle grow, a little more miracle grow, and it sprouts. And that's how it's going to work every day.
Yeah, no, I want to say thank you too for giving me the time, the continued friendship.
Absolutely.
And you just continue to impress me with your sheer endurance and ability to care for so many people and actually mean it. Because I know there's a lot of people who do things like DM challenges and stuff, and it's just a blanket. I'm not going to spend the extra 20 to 30 seconds actually learning about the person. I'm just going to send them, like you said, the couple emojis with Happy New Year to it, and then leave it like that. But you actually invest the time that others won't. And I do appreciate that, not only for myself, but for the people that I know that you're reaching out to and supporting.
I appreciate that. So, yeah, and I think that's one thing I'll talk about real quick is empty promises in this year. I see it too many times. These empty promises don't lead to anything. because what empty promises lead to is empty roads, but fulfilled promises lead to fulfilled roads. So that's just one little tidbit right there I'll give you to the audience out there.
So you guys heard it first here on Anchorthon 2018 that say that again with the empty promises.
Empty promises lead to empty roads, but fulfilled promises lead to fulfilled roads.
All right, that is going to be our campaign slogan for KT for President.
Oh yeah,
2040. Claiming it now.
Yes, yeah, I know. You said I could be the next president. So for those of you who don't, I'll just real quickly bounce on this. So my last name is Touch, and there's I would say a billion things you can do with that last name, and a good way to really start a campaign slogan. So if I ever were to run 2040, empty promises lead to empty roads, fulfilled promises lead to fulfilled roads. That's my new slogan for sure.
So you guys start building the petition now. That way we get the votes locked in. So watch out, Washington. We got 2040 already picked out for you.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun.
Oh man, so anything else for everybody? Any parting words? And then make sure everybody knows where they can find you.
Yeah, I guess I'll just say one thing. First, I want to say thank you to the audience always for coming in clutch from Mike. He's a great dude. Definitely check him out next year. He's got some fun things planned. Last parting word I'll say also, the one quote I like to say is, you're one eye in the world of many eyes. You can do that two ways. You can say the eyes, or you can say the letter I, and connect with other people. And just the last thing, where you can find me, you can follow me at Touch Talks, which is my podcast on Anchor, the Anchor Nation, which you can always find 99 interviews there. Creators Council, that's something I always do with the revolving community around Anchor. At the United Promotion on IG, at Mr. Kevin Touch on IG, at the Anchor Nation on IG. And if you want to hit my Twitter up, it's at the Anchor Nation. And once again, thank you guys for just coming on. Appreciate the support, as always, to the KT Nation, KT TV fans out there, Up fans, and Mike's fans around the world.